Hey everyone, and welcome. I'm absolutely thrilled to have you here for this masterclass explainer. Listen, if you're looking to break into revenue operations, growth, customer success, or really just the broader B2B tech industry, you are in the exact right place. Today, we've got a very clear mission. We are going to decode that alphabet soup of metrics you absolutely need to crack into this incredibly dynamic industry. By the time we wrap up, you'll know exactly how top-tier companies measure their health, their growth, and their efficiency. Okay, let's dive right into our roadmap for today. We're going to start with the SaaS business model, break down MRR and ARR, tackle churn and customer retention, unlock the power of expansion revenue, evaluate acquisition cost and LTV, and finally, we'll see all these SaaS metrics in action.
All right, let's kick things off with Section 1, the SaaS business model, the subscription engine.
I really like to think of a SaaS business like a highly tuned engine. And the very first thing you've got to understand about this engine is that we are moving entirely away from the traditional world of sales. Unlike a traditional business, where a transaction happens just once, say you buy a laptop, you pay for it, and boom, the transaction's complete. SaaS, or software as a service, is a completely different beast. In SaaS, the entire relationship is built on an ongoing subscription. A customer might subscribe for a month, a year, maybe even a decade. They might start with 10 users and eventually expand to 100. This ongoing relationship is absolutely crucial because measuring that ongoing customer value, that's the very foundation of predictable, scalable revenue. You aren't just selling once, you have to continually prove your value, day in and day out.
Moving right along to Section 2, MRR and ARR explained, the revenue fuel.
So we've established what the SaaS engine looks like, right? Well, now we need to talk about the specific fuel that actually powers it. And in the subscription world, that fuel is monthly recurring revenue, or MRR. This is simply the predictable revenue a SaaS company expects to bring in every single month from active subscriptions. If you're a growth manager, you care deeply about MRR because it's literally the ultimate indicator of your monthly business health. It tells you exactly how much recurring revenue you have this month and whether your new customers, upgrades, or even downgrades are moving that needle up or down.
Let's ground this abstract concept with some super simple math. It's incredibly straightforward, really. If you have 100 customers and each of them is paying you £100 per month for your software, you've got a crisp £10,000 in MRR. That is £10,000 of predictable, reliable revenue you can bank on entering your business every single month, provided, of course, those customers actually stay with you.
Now, you might be wondering, what's the real difference between MRR and ARR? Well, ARR stands for annual recurring revenue. While MRR tracks those short-term monthly changes, ARR gives you a much clearer view of your annualized scale, which is especially ideal for B2B companies signing those big annual contracts. But here is the tricky part you really have to watch out for. Only recurring revenue counts. If a customer signs a £12,000 annual software subscription, your ARR is £12,000. But if they also pay a £3,000 one-time setup or implementation fee, that setup fee does not count towards your ARR. It's one-time revenue, not recurring. Understanding that boundary is absolutely vital.
Next up, Section 3, churn and customer retention, fixing the leaky bucket. We've got our fuel, but what is the absolute biggest threat to our engine? Well, for a SaaS business, it's the loss of customers and revenue. In the industry, we often ask ourselves, is our bucket leaking? Imagine working incredibly hard to add $50,000 in new MRR this month. You are pouring water into the bucket. But if your bucket has holes in it and you simultaneously lose $40,000 in MRR because customers are canceling, which we call revenue churn, your net growth is a measly $10,000. Adding all that water literally means nothing if the bucket is leaking almost as fast as you can fill it.
So, why does the bucket leak? Common churn reasons usually boil down to things like poor onboarding, a total lack of training, missing features, frustrating technical issues, or maybe just having no executive buy-in at the client's company. Now, some of these, like a client going completely out of business, you just can't control. But most of these are entirely preventable product and experience issues. And as a RevOps or growth professional, your primary job is to investigate these specific issues and plug those avoidable leaks.
All right, let's pivot to Section 4, the power of expansion revenue, growing from within.
We're moving away from the leaky bucket now and looking at the ultimate solution, expanding the value of the customers who already trust you. And this brings us to what I honestly consider the climax of SaaS metrics, net revenue retention, or NRR. This measures exactly how much recurring revenue a company keeps and expands from its existing customer base over time. It is the ultimate truth teller, for sure.
It clearly shows you whether the customers you already have are actually becoming more valuable to your business as time goes on, or if they're shrinking.
Let's actually piece this formula together because it perfectly combines everything we've talked about so far. To calculate NRR, you start with your starting revenue from an existing group of customers. Second, you add any expansion revenue. Think upsells or cross-sells. Next, you subtract contraction, which is basically when customers downgrade their plans. And finally, step 4, you subtract churn, the revenue completely lost to cancellations.
When you run that math, you might end up with a number like 105%. And let me tell you, this is a magical number in SaaS. Just imagine you start the year with £1 million in recurring revenue. Even after a few customers downgrade or cancel, other existing customers upgrade and buy so many more features that your ending revenue from that exact same group of people is £1.05 million. And NRR over 100% means your existing customers are expanding enough to completely offset any losses. It means your business is literally growing itself from the inside out.
Which brings us to Section 5, Acquisition Cost and LTV, the reality check.
Okay, so we know how to measure our revenue and our retention, but now we need to evaluate the actual hard cost of our fuel. Let's briefly define two heavy hitters. First, CAC, or Customer Acquisition Cost. This measures exactly how much sales and marketing spend is required to acquire just one single new customer. Then we have LTV, or Customer Lifetime Value, which is an estimate of the total revenue a customer will generate during their entire relationship with your company. The golden rule here? Acquiring a customer must financially make sense compared to the total value they're eventually going to generate.
Let's compare two different scenarios to really put this into perspective. In the weak scenario, your customer generates £5,000 in lifetime value, but it costs you £4,000 just to acquire them. That is incredibly dangerous territory. Your margins are razor thin there. But look at the strong scenario. The LTV is £20,000, and it only cost you £2,000 to acquire them. That customer is generating 10 times their acquisition cost. That right there is the undeniable signature of a highly profitable, strong economic engine.
Tied directly to this is the CAC Payback Period, which is simply the time it takes to recover that initial acquisition cost. Why does this matter? Cash flow, plain and simple. If it costs you £10,000 to acquire a big enterprise customer, but it takes you 3 full years of their monthly payments to finally recover that £10,000, well, scaling up your sales is going to massively drain your cash reserves. You want that payback period to be as fast as humanly possible so you can reinvest that money right back into growth.
Let's bring it all together now in Section 6, SaaS Metrics in Action, Making Real Decisions. It's time to connect all these acronyms, because honestly, metrics shouldn't just exist in a vacuum. They guide real teams. Notice how different departments care about very different data points here? Marketing is highly focused on CAC and lead volume, basically how efficiently they can bring potential buyers to the front door. Sales is laser-focused on converting that pipeline into new ARR and boosting their win rates. Customer success then takes the baton, focusing deeply on early activation, preventing churn, and driving that beautiful NRR through expansion. And revenue operations? RevOps is the crucial glue connecting all of these teams, making sure the data flows seamlessly across the entire funnel.
Before we wrap up, I really want to warn you about a few frequent pitfalls. Looking only at new sales while totally ignoring revenue churn, that's a classic error. Measuring your CAC without comparing it to your LTV will blind you to your true profitability. But honestly, the most crucial point is this. Poor data quality is the ultimate silent killer. If your CRM or your billing data is disconnected and messy, your metrics will be entirely wrong. Bad data creates bad SaaS metrics, and that leads to terrible business decisions.
Which leaves us with this final provocative thought. You understand MRR, ARR, churn, NRR, and CAC. You have the data. But is your growth actually sustainable? True SaaS success isn't just about growth at any cost, It's about efficient, predictable, and sustainable momentum. It's about keeping your customers, expanding their value, and operating a finely tuned engine. Thank you so much for joining me for this explainer. Now go out there and look at your own metrics with a completely new perspective.